the win column take on the 9-9 Washington Mystics.
This Washington team leads the W in personal fouls drawn and free throw attempts. And the other thing is catch and shoot threes. 93% of Atlanta's three-point attempts and shots are all assisted on. They've got to be able to be ready to shoot.
Washington starts off with the ball in their red. Atlanta with the white jerseys on, opposing. First on the defensive end, Shakira Austin runs around a bit but gets the first points on the board.
She's going to be aggressive this entire game.
Pressure on the rim, exactly as they should. Howard putting pressure downhill.
Brian Howard sends it out to Alicia Gray, short on the three. 7 threes that were made in the previous game against Seattle. That is something that we haven't grown to see against the Dream, and right away, Shakira Austin with the first 4 points of this ball game.
And again, you see her being aggressive from jump. Shakira Austin is a beast inside of the paint, not just with the boards, but look how she leads the transition break for them, keeps the ball in her possession, and goes straight at Jordan Canada, drawing the foul and getting the and one.
First touch for Shakira Austin on that end, ends up with the bucket, the foul, and an opportunity for the three-point play, and off the mark on the free throw. Alicia Gray comes up with the rebound. Jordan Canada, soft touch on the inside and puts Atlanta on the board.
JC had a couple good games during the break where she just put the team on her back, and it was the aggressive play, touching the paint with her feet, but also looking out for her teammates to be able to score at the same time.
Fourth and final game of this 4-game road trip. We mentioned it, there were going to be 6 games in that 10-day span for the Atlanta Dream. They knew it was going to be a grueling stretch as they are trying to rebound from this 3-game skid.
And look at Jordan Canada right away, just attacking the paint, and that's how this Dream team is able to find some rhythm. After they start attacking, then they can start scoring the basketball from beyond the arc, but they got to get it going inside first.
4 players averaging double figures for the Atlanta Dream. Jordan Canada, one of them, just under 12 points per game, is Ryan Howard. You said you wanted to see more threes, and Ryan Howard delivers.
And Ryan Howard is a player who can create off that 3 ball as well. She just draws in so many defenders. You don't know if she's going to take it to the rack, pass it, or go up for the 3.
Ryan Howard can score on all levels of the floor, coming off of a 27-point game in the loss against Seattle, and right away, 3rd trip down the floor and the 3rd look for
some personal fouls drawn and free throw attempts.
Jordan Canada with the first foul, Angel Reese with the first there, as another missed free throw for Shakira Austin on the season. Shakira Austin has been shooting about 70% from the free throw line. And off on the second, Jordan Canada comes down with the rebound. Pace is a very important factor for Atlanta in transition. Short on the 3, but that's why, because they get a lot of good looks in the open floor.
And right away you see Sikakone giving them an extra possession, and this is what happens when they get extra possessions. Now Alicia Gray gets 2 feet in the paint and she finds her rhythm.
And the assist coming from Jordan Canada. Jordan Canada, as we mentioned, just 2 points away from another double-double. She had the 10 assists against Seattle. Angel Reese all the way up the floor, no call. Alicia Gray gets fouled on the putback. She'll get 2 at the charity stripe.
Right there, Angel Reese a little frustrated at not getting the call. Has to be able to finish up a little.
Alicia Gray, one of those players that you highlighted in the open about the activity and what you needed to see from them. Ryan Howard, we have already seen her on the board, but again, what I mentioned was the 15 free throw attempts that we saw against Seattle. Now her finding her way back to that spot.
And those were season highs for Alicia Gray, both in attempts and in makes, so she really knows how to put the pressure on them inside.
Knocks down the second of the pair. Atlanta with a 4-point lead with about 2 minutes into this ball game. Jordan Canada hovering Georgia Amore. Amore behind the back, pulls up in the middle, and finds a way to drop it in.
And shifty out there, Georgia Amore looking faster before she missed the last couple games.
Angel Reese rebound and no contact that she wanted on the inside. Instead, it will go back.
Early, keep playing.
It is well documented that Angel Reese is a monster on the O board, so them not giving up points off of it, you would think is on the play. So Alicia Gray with the steal and the pick 6 for 2 and puts Atlanta at 10-6.
Atlanta has 4 of the top 10 players in steals per game, including Ali Shagray.
Georgia Amore, nifty move on the baseline with the up and under.
Georgia looking like a late all-star push out there.
Jordan Canada saying, wait a minute there, rookie. Let me show you how it's done. Draws the foul, and she'll get to it at the free throw line.
This is how the Dream find their rhythm. They go in transition, and right there, Ali Shagray, with the good vision, gets the steal and leads the break. Atlanta is so good when they're able to get out in transition and score inside of the paint.
First of the pair goes down for Jordan Canada. She's been pretty solid from the free throw line. A couple of substitutions for Atlanta as Alicia Gray will take a seat. We talked about the defense, 6 points off of the 3 Washington turnovers. That's the importance of finding a way to convert on the other end.
Absolutely, and that's where the Dream hurt this Washington team. The last time that they played them, they forced turnovers, they scored off of those, and that's where the Dream are tops in the WNBA in that category as another guard in Flores scores easy too, gets behind the defense.
It's a mentioning as well that Nas Hillman is back on the floor for Atlanta. Backdoor cut by Ryan Howard for 2.
Notice Atlanta not slowing down. They don't care if there's a score at this end of the floor. They're just getting the ball out, make her miss and going.
Another turnover for the Mystics. Jordan Canada with another bucket off of a turnover, and this is the type of defense that Atlanta has shown throughout the season and have scored on every turnover from the Mystics. Off the bounce, and it looks good for Michaela Onyenwere.
She's just so strong. I mean, the ability to be able to create out there, even if it's a broken play or a set play, she can get to the rim.
Had a career-high 30 points against Portland. Just to mention, too, the previous 3 games, she only had a combined 11 points. Angel Reese on the board with a tough take.
And that's how you respond to no calls from the referee. You go back and you get it.
Shakira Austin in the trail, gets the ball at the top of the key. Michaela looking for an angle, excuse me. Man looking for an angle and turns it over.
Out of the net, make her miss, and pushing the pace down the floor.
Now we got our first look of Tahina Powpow on the floor for Atlanta. Izzy Borlaze on the baseline, accepts the screen from Angel Reese. She's so crafty in the paint, but couldn't connect on the put. Lucy Olsen also in the game for the Mystics. The bounce pass eaten up, and Izzy Borlaze comes up with her first steal. Travel, she thought the trail for Nas Hillman was there. Instead, it's the first turnover for the Atlanta Dream.
And we're seeing more of the Atlanta's bench getting in this game earlier. We know Carl Smesko has been talking about using his bench more often, so this is kind of like a trial and error thing. Now we're looking at how the chemistry builds on the floor, and to me, that pass from Borlaze, or lack of pass from Borlaze, is a chemistry thing.
Olsen, too strong to the rookie out of UCLA, Lauren Betts. Couldn't bring it in. If Atlanta will place their starters for the reserves.
And hopefully they got a few options in there because there are definitely some deserving players on the floor. So Cott almost gets her own offensive rebound, but juggles it out of bounds.
Now, I do want to say this as well. With Teresa Weatherspoon being one of the general managers, could it possibly be that Angel Reese is her first pick, being one of her former coaches?
I love the connection that you made there. It's got me shaking my head because I'm saying yes. Hopefully that is the case.
10 on the shot clock. Olsen sends it to Lauren Betts. Lauren Betts trying to shoot over Medina Okad and gets the bucket. That is a range where she has shown, especially on the NCAA level.
Yeah, excellent decision, though. She got pushed way out and just rose over the defense and made the shot.
Off the mark for the 3. Here comes Georgia Amore on the left side of your screen.
Excellent recognition right there. Michaela Onyenwere had a mouse in the house, and Tahina Powpow got switched off on her. There's just no matchup when they're one-on-one that close to the rim.
Pull up for Izzy, nothing there. Nas Hillman with the rebound. And she turns down the 3, 1 too many steps, just a hesitation on the shot. Tahina Powpow, who has shot 1 or 2 threes in her career, looking at her saying, let it fly.
Absolutely. Izzy Borlaze one of the best offensive players from across the pond. She has to be able to be confident in that shot because that's exactly what her teammates and Carl Smesko wants her to do. No hesitation in the 3-ball.
Elisa Flores sends it outside, and a bucket goes, and Washington finding their rhythm out of the break, and now they have the lead by 1. Washington, who put up the most points they had in franchise history in that 4-overtime win against Portland, 124 points. They are without Sonia Citron, who had a 30 ball in that game as well for her career high, 32 points.
Another turnover for Atlanta. Izzy Borlase just a little bit on the hesitating side and coughing up a couple turnovers on the offensive end.
All of the turnovers that Atlanta has had have come during this spell here after the first time out, as Angel Reese and Sika Kone will check back into the ball game.
Right here, Jordan Canada so good at fighting through screens. And again, if you're Lucy Olsen, you've got to be able to take Jordan Canada down to meet Lauren Betts instead of having your post player hedge out and try to make contact on the screen.
Lauren Betts called for her first foul, just the 4th foul for the Mystics. Ryan Howard turned down the 3-and-1 spot, relocates, too strong. We'll stay with Atlanta, 14 on the shot clock. They'll get it underneath, 2:44. Atlanta before the break was shooting 53% from the field. That has dropped to 41. A couple of turnovers that we've seen in that spell as well. Can they regather in this stretch? 5 on the shot clock. Jordan Canada off the bounce, misses. The shot clock does reset, so she did draw iron. They have 9 to work with. Ryan Howard bounces around, and another 2 for Ryan Howard, who has 7 in this ball game.
Excellent recognition from Ryan Howard on that offensive possession, but I also want to give her teammates credit, especially Angel Reese, because the spacing on that possession was excellent enough to where they knew whether to go in or draw defenders out to open the lane for Ryan Howard.
Elisa Flores couldn't find the look off the baseline. Lauren Betts had 3 white jerseys all around her, and Angel Reese bumped as she was bringing the ball up the floor, which will be Flores' first foul in it right now with 4 assists on 8 made field goals. And it's been spread out. All but Sika Kone for the starters have scored for Atlanta. Shakira Alston, who had the first 5 points for the Mystics in this ball game, comes down with the rebound. As Atlanta is on a 3-game skid at this point, and this is right after they went on a 4-game win streak. You first see the first game against the Valkyries, the back-to-back games against them. The first one, 66-77, and dropping the one just by 3. You mentioned earlier in our pregame show that Coach was even saying that this last one has to be one they throw away, and how they respond. And looking to Ryan Howard is the answer.
Ryan Howard has to be able to hunt for offense at the offensive end, but also play steady defense. And I think she's understanding the consistency she has to play with at both ends of the floor.
Shakira Alston, too strong, bounced out. Gets it on the baseline, again too strong, Sika Kone. The activity we're seeing from her on the baseline in her first start this season.
Yeah, we've seen her with some really good box outs in this one, limiting possessions for Washington.
Jordan Canada had enough time to let it fly. Couldn't connect on the 3. We're in the final minute of the first quarter. Shakira Alston all the way down the floor and gets the bucket and the foul.
This is where the communication defensively for Atlanta has to be a little, or a lot better, should I say. That's one area from the Seattle to a possession for Atlanta.
Sika Kone picking up her first foul of the ball game. And the 3rd trip to the free throw line for Shakira Alston. That's her first make from the free throw line.
She would have been in double digits if she made all 4.
Drive and kick for Ryan Howard. Sika Kone, no.
And even though Kone missed that, again, look at the amount of bodies that Ryan Howard drew into her. That was a wide open three for Kone.
We've seen a time or two Ryan Howard, how she can be a floor general and facilitator as well. About a 4 or 5 second difference between the game and shot clock as Flores gets fouled by Jordan Canada at an inopportune time as they are now in the bonus. So free throws on the way.
And that's Jordan Canada's second foul. You don't want to get that with just 13 seconds left in the first quarter. Carl Smesko trying to figure out what's going on. That is definitely a player that needs to be on the floor at all times for them. 6 points already. She's been putting the aggressiveness inside of the paint and putting the pressure on Washington's defense.
The officials for tonight, crew chief Ashley Gloss, Jason Alabanza, and Tyler Mikovich. Izzy Borlays will re-enter the game, and Sika Kone will sit the rest of the first quarter. Also got your eyes on the newest addition to the Atlanta Dream with Jalen Sherrod, who won a title with the New York Liberty in her rookie season. 9 seconds left in the first quarter. Jordan Canada trying to find some space for the final shot. Sends it to Ryan Howard, gathers, lets it fly. Too strong, Angel Reese couldn't bring it down, and that will do it for the first quarter. We've seen a great start from them. We saw the aggression getting to the free throw line, but Washington came back with a run of their own to finish the quarter.
Yeah, the offense kind of lulled midway through that first quarter for Atlanta, and it was off of a couple turnovers that made them a little bit stagnant and unsure of their offense. They got to get back to being confident in what they do at this end.
So Naz Hillman missing the back end of the Valkyries game due to rest, and is now starting the second quarter for Atlanta. So Sika Kone will come off the bench.
We've seen a lot of bodies in for both teams, quite frankly. But Carl Smesko getting in 4 of his bench players already in the middle of that first quarter, just trying to figure out how these rotations go early as far as the production that they're able to put out on the floor.
Took some time for the bench to get in a rhythm for Atlanta. They're being outscored 8-0. Angel Reese with another offensive rebound and puts it back for 2.
And I love that decision from Angel Reese. Looked like she was going to pass it out. I'm not sure if that was just a ruse to get the defense off of her, but it was a good decision to go back up one-on-one.
Saw the pace in that as well, just being decisive in what she wanted to do. Got blocked at the top of the key, freed up some space for Shakira Austin, who was leading all scorers with 9 points. Atlanta struggling from the three-point line right now, 1 for 9. You mentioned it. That was Ryan Howard's first bucket, but now we're seeing Angel Reese come alive here in the second quarter.
And again, you mentioned it on the previous possession, the little hesitation, the pace to slow down and observe what the defense was giving her is the difference in those last 2 scores for Reese.
She's been active on the floor for Atlanta. Another turnover for Washington. Naz Hillman with the steal. Here comes Reese, finding the right side, and another bucket for Miss Reese. She's with 8 points and a +10 for Atlanta.
And there's the chemistry between Naz Hillman and Angel Reese. You saw Naz Hillman looking for an outlet. You think she would find a guard. No, she finds Angel Reese in transition, taking the ball up the floor.
Ryan Howard might have gotten a piece of that. The take by Angela Dugalich wasn't strong enough. It will stay with Atlanta. And the activity and sense of urgency has gone through the roof to start the second quarter.
And you can tell Angel Reese has been in the gym. She's also been in the film room just because of the pace and play that she's playing with right now. The little hesitation, the basketball in transition, the ball handling in transition has all gotten sharper since the last time we've seen Atlanta play.
Eight on the shot clock. Here comes Gray. At the rim, and the finish. Count the bucket. Alisha Gray on a heater at this point.
She's 0 for 2 from 3, but she's shooting 50% from the field, and it's been getting 2 feet inside of the paint. She's got her 7th point off this bucket, and right here takes the first quick step and beats the defense, then draws 2 defenders and gets the foul. Look at her, splits 2, and runs into another body inside of the paint. That causes her to tumble, but she has enough wherewithal to focus in on the square and knock down the shot.
We mentioned it already. Just the importance of Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard setting the tone. We've seen Angel Reese come alive here in the second quarter as well. Going back to their meeting on the 6th, 15 points right now. She's about half of that. Misses the opportunity for the three-point play.
And I think what we saw during that three-game skid for Atlanta was either Howard or Gray scoring, right? It wasn't them doing it simultaneously, and that's what Atlanta needs.
McMahon off on the take. A couple of bodies hit the deck underneath. Gray looking for space, finding Medina Okot in the right spot. And a dime from Gray leads to a tie. Angel Reese had 18 points and a season high 17 rebounds at the time. Their first meeting against Washington, Atlanta was able to walk away with that 109-77, and Shakira Austin with a quick strike out of the break.
Definitely a communication defensively, a mix-up on that end because Shakira Austin was wide open and free with no defender in sight.
Medina Okot has had some impactful minutes in this second quarter. Ryan Howard looking for some space with Alicia Gray on the left side. Drops another one in.
They are just so good and unstoppable when they're able to touch the paint and when they rotate the ball and screen for each other. And that's something that looks a lot sharper in this game than the last game they played a few days ago.
Atlanta on a 10-2 run. They have outscored Washington 12-4 here in the second quarter. Ryan Howard shaking up a bit off of a screen. Will take a moment at midcourt. Team coming to check on her.
Ryan Howard takes a lot of these per game. You don't get to be #1 in steals per game in the league without doing it. And right there gets caught up on the screen from Onyenwere and takes a hard one that makes her kind of fold over. You got to feel for her in those moments.
Onyenwere is
solid.
A brick wall. Medina Okot looking for space, gets her own rebound. Still going at Shakira Austin. How about the up and under for the bucket from the rookie?
Come on now, Medina. Tell us you've been listening to your coaches without telling us you've been listening to your coaches. No dribble.
I like the gentle chewing the gum on the way back like it was another day at the park. Dream continue their run. Shakira Austin off the mark. As Kiki Iriafen with the offensive rebound gets fouled. 2 free throws on the way.
And look at Medina, the rookie, right here with the spacing on the floor. Te-Hina Paopao finds her. She doesn't go for the first one. Doesn't make it, but sticks with it. And this is what offensive rebounds do. Gives you extra possessions, and Okot takes advantage on the second.
It's like that Gamecock affiliation, that connection that just continues to transfer to the W with Te-Hina Paopao and Medina Okot. We'll have a feature on that transition for a couple of the Gamecocks to the WNBA at halftime.
It's like telekinesis. They never played together actually at South Carolina, but it's just something that's in that South Carolina blood that they're able to find each other.
Yeah, we'll need stats on how many times Te-Hina Paopao and Alicia Gray get connected too.
But I forgot there was another one out there.
There is another one.
That quick.
Made free throws for Washington. Te-Hina on the floor for Jordan Canada. Te-Hina left alone on the wing, in and out. Found the hands of Washington is Cody McMahon. Drive and kick. Shakira Austin looking for help on the baseline and the kick ball.
A good job defensively from Angel Reese. One, she takes
her shin hit the knee of Kiki Iriafen. From that angle, I love seeing the shoes of all the players on the floor too. Angel Reese and her Poison Ivy. Georgia Amor short on the attempt, and Te-Hina Paopao pushes the pace and out for the pack. Ryan Howard decided not to go for the curl, steps back out. 2-man game with Angel Reese, and not enough juice for the layup.
Beautiful pass though.
Onyenwere finding Ryan Howard on the inside. They say a jump ball. Ryan Howard in the right place. We cannot say it enough. Ryan Howard coming off of a season where she was second team all defense. And that was something that was prioritized for Miss Howard.
And she's been consistent at that end, leads the W in steals per game, but you also got to remember she is a guard who stands at 6'2", so she can defend positions 1 through 4, maybe 5. According to Ryan Howard, she's 6'3" on some days, but just does a good job of ball recognition defensively, helping out her teammate.
So 6'2" going against 6' Michaela Onyenwere. And the tip goes to her bestie, Alicia Gray. Up the floor, Jordan Canada back on the deck for Atlanta. As we're at the halfway point here in the second quarter. An illegal screen by Sika Kone will give it back to Washington. And that is the fifth turnover, excuse me, for Atlanta.
No matter what, I get the urge as a post player to come to your guard and try to help them out when it comes to screening, but they've got to be able to stay still and allow the guards to bring the defense to them.
Angel Reese thought a gamble, couldn't come up with a steal. Everyone anticipating on the floor for Atlanta. The dive, Kiki Iriafin couldn't handle it. Atlanta everywhere on the defensive side. And Alicia Gray for another 2. And Atlanta's been eating it up off of turnovers.
The ball was poked loose by Alicia Gray. She poked it right out to Ryan Howard. And Howard in transition rewarded Gray with the easy 2 on the inside.
Atlanta with 18 points off of turnovers, and we're still in the first half with time to go. 5 on the shot clock. Washington has some deciding to do, and yet another turnover. Atlanta and their defense has turned it up in this ball game.
Atlanta has 4 of the top 10 players in steals per game, and this is how they get out in their break and they find rhythm. Alicia Gray loses it a little bit on the way up, but has enough control and finishes with the smile on her face because she knows she got a little bit lucky on that one.
8 steals for Atlanta in this ball game. You can see the anticipation, how bad they want it, and they're baiting in a sense. It's like a pack of wolves. Cindy Navarre in the game almost came out of the shoe and missed the layup on the other end. Actually, she is out of the shoe. Is there a gentle jog on the other end?
maybe somebody's going to bring her the shoe. Sika Kone goes and gets it.
Brittany out of North Carolina has been huge for them off the bench. And Spurs, when her number is called, especially defensively, it's been very impactful. Got a nice pair of the 8-1s.
And North Carolina, I mean, that's exactly where she made her impact at, was in the steals category. So another defender, a tenacious defender for Atlanta to rely on to get their breaks going.
A little bit of a botch there, so Washington will get the ball on the side.
Navarre just got out of there. She was like, ain't no point in jumping this ball. She just slid right on out, was like, take it out of bounds.
I don't think I want the smoke tonight. Canada at the assignment of Georgia A-Moore. 10 on the shot clock. Off the bounce to the rim. Nothing there for Cassandra Prosper. Ryan Howard with another steal. She's pretty good at it. She only leads the league and cannot connect on the 3. But there is a foul on the play. It looks like it'll stay with Atlanta. And as you mentioned, Atlanta, even with this 10-point lead, has struggled from the 3-point line. But what led to the timeout was the 9 steals for Atlanta. They already have 18 points off the turnovers for Washington. You got to think that Sydney Johnson is trying to find some type of reasoning with his group.
Well, I will say this, Atlanta does have 4 of the top 10 in steals per game, but they are telegraphing their passes, making it a lot easier for Atlanta to get out and run.
Less than 3 seconds, Ryan Howard has to go. She pulls up for the 3, off the mark, and it goes down to Washington. The trail from Onyenwere. As Kiki Iriafin off the mark for the 3. She can knock down the 3. Has hit 6 on the season.
And again, in the open, we told you about the activity level from Michaela Onyenwere, and right there draws the foul on Ryan Howard. just going up for the rebound in the basketball. That's the kind of attention she draws. She makes it difficult.
The first foul on Ryan Howard and a 10-second violation. So another turnover. They just couldn't get the ball in over Atlanta.
The last time these two teams matched up, Atlanta scored 26 points off of 17 Washington turnovers, and right now they're almost at that point, and we're not even at halftime.
Jordan Canada with a nifty take, couldn't finish. Also, Sydney Johnson was not pleased in that game as he was tossed from that ball game. You see a mild-tempered Sydney Johnson so far in this first half. They went on a bit of a win streak as well after he was tossed from the game in Atlanta. As Washington had a 3-game win streak. And then dropped the last 2 to the Lynx and Sun before their win against Portland recently.
So you're saying that Sid Johnson needs to spaz out right now to get his team going?
I'm not saying that at all. Sometimes that inspires you to see it from your coach, as there is a foul. Illegal screen for Angel Reese, so she'll pick up her second foul. No contest. She's just like, yep, wrong spot on the floor.
And I just love the next play mentality. I mean, I don't think she agrees with the call, but at the end of the day, that is a heightened focused area for the referees this season.
I'm not sure if that was a nutmeg, but Nas Hillman comes out with the rock. We've been stuck on 38-28 for some time, as both teams have gone cold after that timeout. All the way to the rim, and the first bucket ends that conversation for Alita Flores.
Just put the Jets on and took advantage of the seam, split the defenders.
Now Tillman off for her first attempt from outside. 8-point ball game. Lauren Betts at the top of the key looking for help and finds Onuwede. The two know that they can connect. They won a title at UCLA this past season.
Right there, the rebound got taken away from Nas Hillman by Lauren Betts, but her teammate and Howard had her back.
Too much in that possession, as there's a turnover on the pass from Alicia Gray. Final minute of the first half.
Washington doing a better job recovering in the fast break on that one, because Atlanta has been killer at getting 2 feet in the paint off of their turnovers.
Washington has done better towards the end of this quarter. They're shooting 56% from the field. Atlanta has dropped to 38. Deep touch for Lauren Betts, 7-footer going at Angel Reese and gets the bucket.
That's going to be real hard to stop if you allow Betts to get that deep inside of the paint and not bring help.
6'7", going in her wingspan, going at Angel Reese. That deep in the paint is a tough assignment. Jordan Canada collects it, sends it to Gray. Off. It has been an off night for Atlanta outside, and another foul going.
Hard defense, because you've got a Washington team that is tops in the league in baiting defenders into fouls and getting to the free throw line.
18.6 on the clock. Angel Reese will be checked out of the ball game. So Washington can hold for the final shot of this quarter. Sight for sore eyes is Bree Jones, who is still working her way back. The All-Star from a season ago. 10 on the clock, the backdoor eaten up by Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard gets it back from the wing, the three is good! And Ryan Howard owns both threes for Atlanta as they get back into the win column after dropping their last 3 games and really looking for their first win of this 4-game road trip. As we get things started, Atlanta starts with a rock. Atlanta has won 4 of the last 5 meetings against Washington. Gray with the jab going amongst the trees, it gets blocked.
Right there you saw help side defense, quicker to the step to help out and get that block.
Shakira Austin had the first 4 points of the game for Washington, and right away got the first look for them in the second half. The miss there. Jordan looking for space. The Nash no good. Gray downhill and gets fouled again on the take. Gray a little frustrated after the bump. You think she wanted the and one?
Not frustrated by the call because she obviously got it, but frustrated with herself for not finishing on the inside. And that's the only frustration I want to see from any player. Don't get frustrated with the call. Just next play mentality and make sure you finish the next time down.
Alicia Gray, who is 1 for 3 from the free throw line tonight. Atlanta's seen better days from the charity stripe. Right now, they're shooting 50%.
And that's an area that's bit them in previous games. And maybe that's where some of the frustration is coming from. But Alicia Gray doing something different than the last time we saw this team. She had a season high in free throw attempts and makes versus Washington today. Not getting it done from there.
Misses both free throws. So Atlanta leaving some points on the board. Cody McMahon was off for the 3. Kiki Iriafin. How about the first field goal for Kiki Iriafin coming in the 3rd quarter?
Can you guess what the message was in the locker room to Iriafin? Like, we got to have you score.
I would assume it was a lot like what we saw in Love and Basketball. Get the ball to you. So a jump ball between Sika Kone and Pending. Sika Kone, who had her first start of the season. Looks like she'll be going against Shakira Austin. Sika Kone, the only starter for Atlanta that has yet to score in this ball game.
Still trying to feel her way out as being a starter. We've seen her come off the bench historically with this team throughout the season. So that's an adjustment.
Wins the tip though, 5 on the shot clock. Gray releases, nothing there. And a box that has still struggled for Atlanta in the 3 department.
And look at Jordan Canada putting the pressure on Georgia Aidmore, bringing the ball up the floor.
Almost came up with another steal. Taking time off the clock, 9 left for Washington. Angel Reese hovering Shakira Austin, but a foul is called. It will not be on Angel Reese. She did have the 3 fouls in the first half. Alicia Gray instead will pick up the foul. That'll be her first.
Yeah, Alicia Gray kind of got caught on the first step from McMahon. Give McMahon credit because her activity level is constantly causing Gray to have to keep her head on a swivel. She's going to take a seat on this possession. But McMahon just keeping her feet moving and getting behind the defense.
Onunuere, short. Izzy Borlase on the floor for Atlanta. Jordan downhill, found space, but not the right angle.
And just a tough miss inside of the paint. We've seen Jordan Canada finish quite a few of those in the last couple games that Atlanta has played. She's just been really good inside of the paint.
Austin outside, finds the bottom of the net.
And Shakira Austin can do that. She can stretch the floor. So now if she hits another, Angel Reese is going to have to respect it.
4-point game. Angel Reese at the rim. Count the bucket.
They've been going at it from the jump in this game, and I love the reaction from Angel Reese. It's just tough, pure toughness as she goes over to check on her friend. But right here, she realizes she's one-on-one with Austin, reads the defense, and just takes it square into the chest and gets the and one.
Grown woman move here by Angel Reese. Lost the gather at first, found the angle. And Shakira Austin was in shock at the call. But a free throw on the way for Angel Reese. And they ruled it because it's an unnatural or wild arm or leg motion. So Georgia Aidmore was given 1 free throw that she made on the other end, and Atlanta was able to shoot the free throw.
And we've seen that flail quite a few times from Angel Reese. Sometimes it's gone in her favor, sometimes it hasn't. And that's something that's going to have to be corrected in practice when they get time to watch film. She just has to be cognizant of it.
And it's to protect also the defender as well as a swipe down. Shakira Austin was upset about that. A steal for Jordan Canada. Sends it up the floor. Ryan Howard found space on the three. Short. Angel Reese, another offensive rebound. Didn't like the look. Borlace, can she connect? Yes! The final, or the first three from someone else than Ryan Howard.
And that's exactly what Izzy Borlace can do, and that was part of the keys to the game. Catch and shoot threes. This Atlanta team, 93% of their three-point makes are assisted on. They are good off the catch.
So a quick 6-point swing for Atlanta, the and one, and a little bit of testy talk on the baseline, McMahon. So we're gonna catch you up. This is what we were talking about. Yes, the foul was there, but the arm on the left that came down, swiped Shakira Austin, that's a technical foul that was given during the break. Now on the other end, there were officials gathering to make sure that both teams were split apart because there was some jawing going on.
Yeah, Angel Reese and Cody McMahon fighting for that rebound. McMahon took some exception to some of the physicality down there. But again, that's what Reese's activity level does to people. It frustrates them because she just has a knack for finding the basketball, no matter where it's at.
So Cody McMahon did pick up the technical foul. Ten-point ball game again for Atlanta. Eight seconds. Shakira Austin going against Angel. Quick release for Georgia. Amore off the glass. I suppose that counts.
Georgia Amore says the bank is always open for me.
That is just the third three for Washington. And Ryan Howard lines it up and responds with her own.
And I say, of course, because it's like clockwork for Howard. Every time there's a three made at the other end of the basket, if she gets it offensively on the next play, it's money almost 100% of the time.
Absolutely. Another turnover for Washington as Kiki Iriafin picks up her second foul. Three players in double figures for Atlanta. Ryan Howard with 16. She's knocked down 3 threes, 11 for Reese. She's added 7 rebounds to that as well. And Alicia Gray is right now still getting a bit of a breather. She has 11. Up and under for Ryan Howard, nothing there.
Needed some more of the backboard if you're going to go on the other side of the rim like that.
Iriafin. The double led to a deuce, or a three rather, for Flores.
Flores has just been finding some offensive rhythm. You saw her in that quadruple overtime game, getting her praise afterwards from her teammates because of how she stepped up at both ends of the floor. She's been the only reserve to do a lot of things at both ends of the floor for this team. And that Portland game had a career-high 5 steals to right now doing some damage on the offensive end.
You mentioned Flores coming off the bench with 5 steals, yes, but also added the 8 points. There seems to be some unhappy fans in the building for Washington. We're unaware of what may have transpired. Alicia Gray checks back into the ball game.
What's interesting for me when it comes to this Washington team is they only have one player in Shakira Austin in double figures. Onyenwere and Kiki Iriafin both with 4 and 3 points respectively, and they're still in this game. It's just a 7-point ball game.
3 up top for Jordan Canada, short. As that's tracked down by Kiki Iriafin. You mentioned Kiki Iriafin with just 1 point, which was a free throw, obviously, at half. Got her first field goal about 3 minutes into the third quarter. Jordan Canada, Flores saved it back to JC. Bad idea, 2 points on the board for O Canada.
And that's how you stick with the play. Jordan Canada was about to come up with that steal, and what does she do? She just chased the offensive player down to the sideline. They put it back in, which is a no-no. She scored off of it.
Underneath, deep seal, off the mark, nothing there, but a foul will be on the floor on Atlanta.
Just look at Jordan Canada stick with this one. Almost comes up with the steal, and right there she races with Flores down to the sideline. Flores saves it, and there goes Jordan Canada, the receiver on the inbounds, and finishes through the contact.
Canada with 8 points. She's already matched what she's had in the previous game, the 5.
For Atlanta, I think the defense is a confidence booster to get them their heads out of that 3-game skid and back on the winning column.
And if I may, that's one area that they can control, the effort in which they see on that side of the ball.
Bingo.
6 on the shot clock for Washington. Off the deck, Flores up and under, nothing there. Angel Reese pushing. We've seen a lot of that point forward in this season, carrying over from her time with Chicago. Ryan Howard, top of the key, in and out. Atlanta will return back to Gateway Center Arena after this game. A long 4-game road trip as Cody McMahon gets her first points of the ball game from outside.
And they were smart points at that. She just used the screener and shot behind the screen. We've been seeing more and more players shoot the 3 behind screens.
Off on the 3, a rebound goes down to Atlanta. Angel Reese. Do they count the bucket or is it an offensive foul? With the finger wave, I would assume it's an offensive foul called against Angel Reese, and it looks like it may be her 4th.
And I think she's so emphatic because you could see her ease up a little at the shot. She can tell that they were about to take that charge and try to change it. The momentum, which is hard to do. Just watch her. All her momentum is going forward, and right here she kind of eases up because she realizes Flores is taking that charge, but it was a second too late. Flores doing a good job defensively of reading the play because she's been doing this all game long.
Yeah, she definitely got established. So the 4 fouls on Angel Reese brings Medina Okada in the ball game, and a quick foul on Medina on re-entry.
I love Medina's reactions after a foul. It's just no words. It was just a body language thing, just a letdown. Like, are you serious? It's so calm.
Well, she still has some room to grow. She's just been playing this game for 6 years. The drive, Prosper, good on the take.
That was a beautiful move, beautiful take from Prosper to go to the interior and find the paint.
Gray with the release and 1. You just can't keep up with Gray. Well, that's something she could smile about. A made free throw for Alicia Gray. Brings her to 14 points on the night. 7-point lead for the Dream. Backdoor by Prosper, who just scored on the previous play. Foul by Nas Hillman as Angela Dugalich.
It's a step slow defensively on that possession. And you can tell that she had rest last game, so she missed that one, but you can just tell the lingering injuries from earlier in the season are kind of catching up to her with that 4 games on the road that the Dream are in right now.
And during the break, we've also been seeing the heating pad on the lower leg of her right leg too. So just finding ways to see if she can stay ready. Both missed free throws for Dugalich, but Lauren Betts gets the rebound.
Almost took Ryan Howard's head off on that one.
5 on the shot clock. On the inside, Dugalich gets the bucket.
Efficiently run play from Washington right there. Dugalich was able to get deep positioning, but it was the ball movement that was able to trick out the defense and get them off kilter.
Washington outscoring Atlanta 19-15 in this quarter. Ryan Howard trying to direct everyone on the floor as we are brought to another whistle.
I think sometimes the reaction of the defensive player also is what determines those calls when it comes to the screening actions on the wing. And right here it goes in Atlanta's favor because Prosper trying to fight around that, rightfully so. She's playing Ryan Howard, gets the foul.
Another whistle and an offensive foul against who they will call it on him. So it looks like, is it Alicia Gray?
Yeah, it's her second.
That they're calling on Gray. You did mention it, that is her second. So this is the way it's looked in the third quarter. As far as from the floor shooting, Washington has connected. A couple of threes that have gone down as well. Prosper with big minutes in the third quarter. Shakira Austin, step back three, finds another. 2-point ball game, Washington with a bit of a surge.
Despite the down offense for most of this game from the Mystics, I mean, they're right here in it. They're missing their best player in Sony Citron. You can tell the importance of a Citron to this team, but right now they're pulling it together. They're just staying the course, and it's been their bench that's kind of helped them out. They've only had one player in Austin who's in double figures, but every other player who's touched the floor has scored.
Jordan in the corner, looking for space, tried to find Sikakone rather, and an uncharacteristic turnover for Jordan Canada. So Washington was at a bit of a run, can tie or take the lead with a three in this possession.
And you saw Ryan Howard talking to Sikakone on that one. We don't normally see Jordan Canada with that kind of turnover. And what Ryan Howard was just telling Sikakone was, you got an outlet to where she can see you, which is the deep corner by the three-point line. Sikakone was sucked in. The spacing wasn't there. If you see Jordan Canada going in, you've got to get out of there and take your defense with you.
Spacing key for Atlanta in these next few possessions. The Mystics rather had a season high with 5 three-pointers in the third quarter, an area that Atlanta has to do better defending. A missed look from Cody McMahon could have tied the ball game.
Just moved Alicia Gray right on out of the way.
Yeah, she's a freight train. Ryan Howard gets fouled on the other end as Cassandra Prosper reaches in.
And that's the reminder this dream team needs. We've been saying it throughout the season. Jordan Canada is usually the one to remind this team to touch paint. But now you also have Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray who are constantly putting that pressure on. When they get down and it's a close game, they always get to the free throw line and touch the paint.
These crucial free throws are sponsored by Free at Last Bail Bonds, the company you trust when times get tough. And every point is crucial for Atlanta from the free throw line at this point. They are shooting 63% from the charity stripe. As Ryan Howard now with 18 points. She's been pretty good. She's been perfect from the free throw line.
It's been start to finish. But again, Flores with another one. Got past 2 defenders. They're a step slow and finishes on the other side of the rim.
Ryan Howard turned down the three. Final minute in the third quarter. Angel Reese back on the floor. She's playing with 4 and couldn't finish at the rim. Outside look, too strong. Nas Hillman got a hand on it, just enough to tap it to Alicia Gray.
Excellent box out from Hillman.
Here comes Gray, didn't like the look going against 2. It was almost tapped away, looking for help, and a lot of contact on the side against Shakira Austin.
And not the smartest of fouls from Austin. Atlanta had nowhere to go, so why even do that? But again, Atlanta right here has to be able to get control of their offense. That play right there was a little bit off kilter where it was an uncontrolled play, and they got bailed out by the foul.
In the bonus, 2 free throws coming up for, I do believe it is Alicia Gray that will step to the free throw line. And it will actually be Nas Hillman who knocks down the first of the pair. Nas Hillman with her first point of the ball game. Connects on both. Final 30 seconds of the third quarter. It's gone back and forth. Washington has been knocking at the door to tie the ball game here in the third quarter, and a travel will give it back to Atlanta for the final shot of the third quarter.
And that's the pressure that Jordan Canada does to you. I mean, she's such an amazing defender, 2-time steals leader. Sits second in that category right now behind her own teammate Ryan Howard, and she just knows how to put the pressure on the offense.
12 steals, Washington 0. That has been the difference in the game. Jordan taking some air out of the ball, finds Nas Hillman for the 3. Too strong, rebound going to McMahon, and it won't be enough. As the third quarter comes to a close and Atlanta holding on to the 4-point.
5 threes in that third quarter, which is keeping them in this one and keeping the game close. They don't need to have any space beyond the arc.
Pull up, out of the break, and nothing there. Angel Reese tracking it down, gets the rebound, sends it to Jordan Canada.
Almost thought we talked it up.
Should be a double-double now for Angel Reese. As we have a tie-up with Atlanta.
I believe Jordan can get this one. She's got a little bounce.
Yeah, 5'6", going against, let me see, Flores at 5'9". I think I'll give the bunnies to JC, and if not, then Ryan Howard's got her back. Spread out. Shakira Austin sends that back to Angel Reese.
And had something to say about it, too. Just talked to the crowd. She was ready for that one.
Corner three, Prosper. Off the mark, tracked down by Angel Reese. No one in front of her, has one to beat with Shakira Austin and blocked again. Angel Reese befuddled, but may have had some words with the official. We did hear a whistle.
In the frame, you got to be able to get down and defend with your team.
Yeah, the whistle was for a turnover from Cody McMahon. So Atlanta gets it back and scores right away. For a second, because of the words with Angel Reese, I was going to say it was going to be a scary thing to see two texts for Angel Reese in the game.
And she definitely has to be careful with that one. I mean, she's got the fouls, but she does have that tech with Cody McMahon is feeling it from beyond the three. That's her second of the night. All her points coming beyond the arc.
And all in the second half. So we do get a technical foul. Seeing who this is called against. And again, as the action is on the road, it goes against Atlanta. Not sure if it was the bench.
But they be stressing Carl out. He just he be doing what he can. He be fighting for him, and then it be stuff like this where it's a three-point game with a team that's at 500. But you got to credit Washington for the fight that they've gotten. It's been their bench who's been holding it down in place of Onyenwere and Area Finn with the low scoring.
Ryan Howard had time to adjust the lace on the ball. Just right. Knocks down her fourth three of the ball game.
And she just gives them a little bit of breathing room in this one when you can feel the pressure as Washington keeps coming back.
Backdoor by Michaela Onyenwere, but Kiki Iriafin closes it up. 4-point ball game again. Gray. And they'll say it's actually an offensive foul against Jordan Canada. Canada hit the deck, and the foul is actually going to be on her. I think we do have a whistle across Mexico, maybe challenging this call.
And I think that's a good challenge because we don't see JC as the aggressor too often when it comes defensively, and she's the one who hit the floor.
I think more importantly, the foul was called at a point where Alicia Gray had an open layup. Ryan Howard too much to handle on the gather and turns the ball over. Atlanta with 12 turnovers in this ball game.
The defense has got to tighten up. Okay, you missed that possession, but this is still a 4-point game, and you can't trade baskets with this team.
Sika Kone with the assignment of Kiki Iriafin. Michaela Onyenwere going at Gray, and a foul committed. Offensive foul against Onyenwere on that spin move, caught the jaw of Gray.
And Gray just checking to make sure her teeth are still all intact. Gives her teammates a thumb up. And you can see it on this play. Onyenwere with this
Hold up, and Alicia Gray after this road trip.
The legs tired, the mental tired. I mean, so much has gone on in this road trip, and they're just trying to finish this out. It's their fourth game on the road, and it's been 3 losses consecutive, something that we haven't seen in Carl Smeskel's tenure as the Dream head coach.
Atlanta did have 4 days of a break. They flew to the nation's capital to take some time to see if they can fine-tune some things, but Kiki Iriafen knocking down the three from outside.
Slowly her offense coming together in this second half.
Ryan Howard released, in and out. 1-point ball game. Here comes Cody McMahon all the way out top, and a foul called. Free throws on the way for Cody.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do if you're Cody McMahon. The three bounces in and out for Atlanta, and McMahon is off to the races. You've just seen her be aggressive at the offensive end. She only has 6 points in this one, but I feel like we've been saying her name so much more at this end of the floor because of the constant activity level. She's either passing, she's either cutting, getting rebounds.
Which also gave her start for the night in the absence of Sonia Citron. Sika Kone will take a seat as Naz Hillman will check back into the ball game, and we are tied at 65.
And even though Naz Hillman hasn't been able to put out her usual output, she's so smart and she's such a good communicator that Carl Smesko knows that he has to have her on the floor.
A miss could have put Washington up by 1. Jordan Canada trying to see if she could track it down. A foul, and it'll go against Atlanta. I do believe it's against Jordan Canada, where she was trying to bring the ball back in and chase the ball.
Fact, a foul.
A bucket here could put Washington up for the first time since the first quarter, and that indeed happens.
That's also not the smartest gamble either when you don't have help side on your backside. Look at the run that Washington is on. The last 2 minutes, 8-0. That's exactly how they've got back in this game.
Ryan Howard, though, right time, puts them back up by 1.
Sometimes I feel she loves the adversity of these moments. That's when she comes alive.
Full as a cucumber, puts them back up by 1. Ryan Howard with back-to-back games with 20 or more points.
And this is the consistency on the off personnel because Ryan Howard does have that in her bag.
Not knowing she's going to shoot from outside is a missed assignment.
Yep.
Quickest and youngest to 400 threes. Angel Reese trying to hold the ball at the top of the key. Was surrounded by Austin and Prosper. Gets fouled in the midst.
Tad bit too aggressive to be that high up, but again, that is the respect that Angel Reese has started to command from beyond the three-point line because of how she's expanded her game. She's shooting more threes, she's bringing the ball up the floor, doing more ball handling as the point forward.
Atlanta 12-7. 7 of those losses have been in the last 3 as an offensive foul goes against Ryan Howard on the shove-off.
Bit of a sell job by Cassandra Prosper, but again, credit the rookie for being smart on Ryan Howard. She knows that.
Second foul on Ryan Howard. Jordan Canada gets on the floor, couldn't bring it back in. More bodies going after the ball, and that's a hustle play that will be marked on the highlight tape for Atlanta.
And that's exactly what they've got to do. Jordan Canada hit the floor. Her teammates didn't stay back and watch her. They came to the basketball, and that's exactly how Atlanta was able to get possession back.
We talk about moments that set the tone. 5:19 left in this ball game. You have to empty the tank on this long road trip for Atlanta. Jordan looking for help. Naz Hillman, top of the key. Gets it back. Power dribble on the inside. Looking for help. Might have been bumped by Angel Reese.
Yeah. The spacing wasn't there on that one. Usually those two are so good with their spacing.
Deep steal by Iriafen, and too strong on the take. Still gets fouled, though. So 2 on the way for Kiki Iriafen.
The empty possessions offensively for Atlanta coming back to bite them in this moment. Because you had Kiki Iriafen, we said, who only had 1 point at halftime. She's been able to almost get in double digits. She can get there with these 2 free throws if she makes them. But Atlanta,
they can also put them up by 1 with the next make.
Atlanta's offense just stagnant on this end, not being able to convert, and then not being able to get stops at that end. It's just a bad combination this late in the game. Atlanta has to put some things together, get some stops, and create the separation that we talked about that they needed in the third quarter heading into the fourth.
And not only can they take the lead here, but Jordan Canada also being kept on the floor as of now with 5 fouls with 4:54 left in the ball game. So some decisions to make for Carl Smesko and his staff.
And Carl Smesko has talked about smart gambles constantly with this team. He trusts his players. And a player like Jordan Canada, I think she can be trusted with 5 fouls to make the right gambles defensively.
We've gone back and forth, 3 different lead changes here in the fourth quarter. Briefly knocked away by Shakira Austin. Ryan Howard, 3 red jerseys all around her, and couldn't come down with the bucket.
And that's what we're talking about when we say gravity score. She sits third in that area because she draws so much bodies to her, just the gravity of the defense her way.
Quick spin by Shakira Austin, gets the bucket. And a quick timeout for Atlanta as they have their biggest lead.
This Washington team just putting some things together, putting it together.
We do have the cameras in arena at a crucial time as we're in the final 4 minutes of play with Atlanta down by 3.
Now see my point guard and how she handled that. Great job, Andrew Gray.
Alicia Gray sends it back out to Naz Hillman out of the break. Ties it at 71.
Hasn't been having her best game at both ends of the floor, but you can count on President Naz to deliver a timely bucket when the Dream need it.
Seven on the ticker. Flores with the kickback, nothing there. Shakira Austin has been all over the glass in this ball game. She has 8 rebounds to add to her 21 points. Short shot clock again. Flores finding the bottom of the bucket from outside the 9th for Washington.
And she's just been on fire ever since that Portland game, just doing work at both ends of the floor, being an unlikely hero for this Washington team when they need it.
Four overtimes for Washington in that last game and win against Portland, 124-123, where Sonia Citron had a career-high 32 points. Kiki Iriapin as well as Michaela Onyenwere with career highs as well. But still have enough legs to battle it out with Atlanta.
Right now looking like they have more legs than Atlanta, especially in this second half. You saw the second quarter where Atlanta beat them 22-9 in scoring, but it's that third quarter, those 5 threes that the Washington Mystics were able to make that was able to get them back in this game, and now the fourth quarter, they've just been the aggressor.
So falling about 36 rebounds per game. That's the second most in the league. That's right behind Minnesota. They're right now winning in that department 36-28 over Atlanta. That has been known throughout this stretch to really be good on the glass. That is a difference of extra opportunities for the Mystics.
And that's the difference between the 4-game win streak that the Dream had before the 3-game skid. Rebounding is one of the factors in that, where Atlanta was one of the top teams during that win streak when it came to rebounds per game.
So Alicia Gray able to connect on the second of the pair. 2-point ball game as we're approaching the 3-minute mark in the nation's capital. Strong screen by Shakira Austin of Jordan Canada. She bounces back up. Prosper, 3, no good. And here comes Ryan Howard. Ryan already with 5 threes in this ball game. Dipsy doing up top was bumped. And a foul committed, Ryan Howard. Third foul on Shakira Austin. So that's 3 on Kiki Iriapin, 4 on McMahon. And on the other side for Atlanta, Jordan Canada with 5 and 4 for Angel Reese. 3 on the shot clock. Ryan Howard releases short. Alicia Gray battling it out. Another opportunity for Atlanta. Gray all the way to the rim. The take, nothing there. Reese, the rebound, looking for space, up and under, no. Another rebound, Reese on the ground on all 2 knees, and finally a whistle is blown. Bonus. That's why Angel Reese is at the free throw line, off on another free throw. Atlanta shooting 65% from the charity stripe. Angel Reese, who has 13 rebounds and 11 points. These are crucial for her and off the mark.
And that's why Naz Hillman is back in this game. We saw the crucial three and now a crucial rebound that saved the possession.
Jordan Canada, as Georgia, I think Flores trying to shade her to the left side, couldn't contain her and gets another bucket.
Washington hates to see a tie game coming down this late.
Kiki Iriafen wanted the and one, got the bucket. We talked about the tight games. Well, that plays in the favor for the Mystics. They have a league-leading 7 clutch wins this season. How will they close out this one? We're approaching the 90-second mark in this ball game. Can Washington string together 2 impressive wins, or will Atlanta get back in the win column and break the 3-game skid? The dish, Iriafen, and the bucket. And a quick swing for Washington. As we'll see how this one comes to a close. Jordan Canada with the dive by Angel Reese, up and under, and a good bucket out of the timeout.
I love the play to get the momentum of Angel Reese going to the basket. You had Jordan Canada throw the defenders off, and then Reese able to finish inside.
Final minute in DC. Flores up top, looking for help. Iriafen, short, nothing there as Angel Reese watches it go out of bounds in the final 50.6. Atlanta needs a bucket to tie, a 3 to take the lead.
And notice how Naz Hillman pushed Iriafen up further away from the rim where she's been doing damage, especially in the 3rd and 4th quarter, making her shoot that air ball.
Atlanta, of note, is also in the bonus. Naz Hillman at the top of the key, too strong, and the rebound goes down to Shakira Austin. About a 7-second difference between the game and shot clock. This is a big defensive stop here for Atlanta. Jordan Canada up top with 5 fouls. 8 on the shot clock. Flores got fouled by Naz Hillman. They cannot foul before the ball comes in, as they do say it's a violation. But now we have Sydney Johnson saying that he called a timeout first. A lot of questions in that final second. He is granted the timeout. Carl Smesco doesn't seem too thrilled.
Yeah.
Where there should have been some synergy, honestly, between the 3 officials. One says the 5 violation and gave the signal for it as the final wave of the arm. And that's what we're looking or watching for, was for the whistle and a foul on Georgia Amore.
100%.
Makes the first of a pair, so it's a 1-possession game now. Jordan Canada checks back in. Atlanta with 1 timeout. Washington has none left, and she makes both. Timeout for now. Corner, Tahina Pau turns down the 3, took it on the inside, nothing there. 5 seconds left, and a jump ball is called. Austin, about 6 seconds left on the clock, 5.9 to be exact. Timeout on the side of Atlanta. Secure it, get a quick 3, and it goes down to Prosper. 2.5 left. which means no subs or not going to each other's benches, not the normal one. And 2.5 left on the to 10-9 on the season with the foul before the ball came inbounds. And pretty much solidifies and stamps it here. 76-81. Washington, who surged back in the third quarter, as we mentioned, after the 5 threes in the third quarter. The in and out attempt late, no good